Hey, what's up, lovely people? In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly why I see breathwork to be the number one skill set for health professionals in the 21st century. Right? This video is not a sales pitch. I simply want to walk you through exactly what is working for me and my clients in the hope that perhaps you can implement some of it in your own life with your own clients and see the same positive results that I'm seeing. At the end of the video, I'll leave you with a simple invitation if you'd like to learn more about the exact framework and methodology we're talking about, where you can go to do that. Now, when I say breathwork, I don't necessarily mean the popular perception of breathwork that we often see on the internet, usually involving a bunch of people laying in a room, breathing deep, hard, heavy, maybe some emotional release, maybe some crying. Right? There is a time and place for that, which I call experiential breathwork. But that's not what moves the needle when we're actually looking at health. What I'm talking about is the restoration of optimal breathing. When we're able to restore breathing to its optimal state, we completely shift the conditions of the body, and that allows for pretty dramatic changes. This framework is really based on the fact that the body has an innate healing capacity, which is often blocked by the way in which someone is living. Now, before we dive into the bulk of this video, I quickly want to let you know who I am. Right? I spent the early part of my career working in hospitals as a physiotherapist. I worked in private clinics. I worked with sporting teams. And over the years, I came to realize there seemed to be a missing piece. Right? I reflected on what I learned through 5 years of education at university, and I realized there was also a missing piece. And I spent a lot of time and money on professional development. And when I look back on it now, it was me searching for that missing piece, right? The piece that gave me the confidence in my ability to help whoever walked through my door. The missing piece was how breathing directly impacts every system of the body. And what I came to find over the years is that many people, right, are breathing in a way that negatively impacts their health and really their overall life. So I went and I hiked a snowy mountain with Wim Hof. I learned free diving in Indonesia. I trained with leaders in the field, and I fully immersed myself in the world of breathing. And I now know the impact that breathing has on the body, and I'm on a mission to really help more people understand what that impact is. Breathing isn't just about adding another tool to our toolbox, right? It's about fundamentally shifting the way we look at health. The human body is a system, right? This is very important to understand. This is just a way in which we can look, right? The human body as a system. This system has inputs and outputs, right? Medicine for the last 100 years has focused on the outputs, i.e. health or disease, right? But we can't change the outputs. We can only change the inputs. Right? Very important concept to understand. Health really is simply an emergence of a well-functioning system. Right? When I realized this, everything changed. The way in which I worked with my clients changed. The way in which I looked at my own health changed. How someone is breathing is arguably the most important input to the system, right? And that system being the human body. Think about it. Life begins with a breath and it ends with a breath. Right? It's the only thing that keeps us alive. Stop it for more than a few minutes and life ends. Right? So by changing this one input, we fundamentally change how well the system functions. Think about this, right? There are 24 hours in the day. Right? That means there are 1,440 minutes. Let's say someone does breath work for 30 minutes, right? This is less than 2% of their day. This will do absolutely nothing for someone's overall breathing patterns and therefore their overall health. In fact, I'd go as far as to say it actually can make things worse. Because if in that 30 minutes, someone is exaggerating poor breathing patterns, they're simply adding fuel to the fire, right? For most of the time, our breathing runs on autopilot. And what most breathwork practices are doing is training the autopilot to continue to veer us off course. The restoration of optimal breathing focuses on the other 98%. The restoration of optimal breathing focuses on the other 90%. The restoration of optimal breathing focuses on the other 98% of the day, right? It looks at how the breath can be used as a tool of self-regulation, stress reduction, energy management, and overall performance. Breathing, like the human body, is also a system, which means we can break it down into components. And this helps us effectively understand what's going on and what we can do about it if something isn't working. Right? Breathing breaks down into four pillars: biomechanics, physiology, nervous system, and mental emotional state. Right? Another way we can kind of look at this or think about it is movement, chemistry, electricity, and energy. Looking at breathing in this way goes far beyond breath work, right? It sees breathing as a function and driver of health. By having a clear methodology to assess someone's breathing, we can then work to correct any imbalances or dysfunctions that we find, right? And when we restore breathing to its natural, optimal state, we positively impact the entire human body and therefore how well the system is functioning, right? And coming back to that idea that the human body is a system, health begins to emerge from that system. And here's the kicker, right? It isn't that important what problem we're actually dealing with. I work with individuals that present to me with a wide array of issues, right? Stress, anxiety, chronic pain, chronic fatigue, cardiovascular issues like high blood pressure, autoimmune conditions like ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, addiction, ADHD, right? I work with kids, athletes, CEOs, and new moms. How can focusing on one thing help with so many different issues, right? Well, because we aren't focusing on symptoms. Breathing is not a tool of symptom management, it is a tool of health restoration, right? By optimizing movement, chemistry, electricity, and energy, we start to bring the body back to balance, right? We change the inputs, the system functions better, and therefore we get different outputs, which usually means, right, symptoms go away. Now, I am not saying breathwork fixes or cures anything. All I'm saying is that when we restore breathing to its optimal state, the body is often able to fix itself. We've been looking at health the wrong way for far too long, right? It is not something we have, it is something we do. Dysfunctional breathing prevents the body from tapping into its own self-healing mechanism. You can do everything else right? Your sleep, your nutrition, your movement, your exercise. But if this one input to the system isn't fixed, the output is going to struggle to change. So it doesn't matter whether you're a doctor, a dentist, a health coach, a yoga teacher, a therapist. By addressing breathing, right, we're addressing root cause. We are improving the function of the entire system, and we are allowing health to emerge. So, if you are a health professional and you're starting to understand the importance of breathing, or at least you are curious as to the role that it plays, there's a link below this video with more information on how you can book a call to chat with me. Right, this program isn't for everyone. There is an application process. I want to make sure that you are able to get the same results that I mentioned in this video. Right, I really appreciate your time watching, and I do look forward to connecting.